Hello, I am Bjorn, your movie archaeologist, and I didn't even start the video without a dog interruption this time. Yeah, the Temple of Movie Reviews has been invaded by a wild beast. Alright, I got rid of the beast. It was nice to have one movie that was good to review on this show, because this one is not. The artifact I discovered today is Shazam 2, and it's kind of a very rusted artifact. It's not very appealing to look at. I'm not really a big fan of it. So let's get right into it. Alright, to that one guy who really wants me to keep my hat on, this goes to you. No hats. Never again. I'm never putting the hat back on. It's off. It's gone. Never coming back on. And it's your fault, commenter. You know who you are. Yeah, so Shazam 2 is not good. Which is a shame, because I really liked the first Shazam movie, and I was riding high off John Wick 2, so when I came into this one, I was moderately hopeful for it, but I hadn't heard much about it, if anything. I hadn't seen any reviews for it. No one was talking about this thing. I only knew it came out because I got like a little notification on my computer, and I'm like, oh yeah, can I even get a screening for that? And I did, and I was like, okay. No one's buying tickets. Uh-oh. So I waltzed my way in to a theater filled with children, literal, like, toddlers, running around the theater, yelling and screaming. This movie started charming. And I guess I'll go ahead and say light spoilers to moderate spoilers for the movie. There's not really much to spoil here. You're not going to miss much. Even if I tell you the plot, you're still not going to get anything out of it from me telling you. I would just recommend waiting for this one to go on VOD. It's about on that level. It's worse than Ant-Man 3, which, congratulations, DC. You had Marvel showing their belly, and instead you rolled over, sliced open your own stomach, and said, ta-da! I think this is even more of an indicator that James Gunn taking over DC was a very good thing. The movie doesn't work on almost any level. It tries really hard to be emotional and gripping, and falls flat in its face. It has some of the worst lines and delivery I've ever seen in a comic book movie. We're talking almost Suicide Squad 2016 levels of stilted delivery and awkward lines. There's some positive groaners. And then on the positive side, there's some really funny jokes, especially in the first 45, 30 minutes. In fact, I kind of liked the first 45, 30 minutes. I was like, okay, this is just like the original Shazam. And then the villain showed up, and oh my god, this movie goes off the rails. It goes off the rails. It goes nowhere fast, but also really slow. And it tries so hard to make you care. It'll just really, randomly, it's just So the movie starts off, Billy Batson is a little upset because he thinks that his family is pulling away from him, and they don't want to be superheroes all the time like he does, and he feels like he's losing them, which, honestly, it feels forced and doesn't really work for me, but there's some funny jokes involving it. And at the same time, evil Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu are going to steal the magic staff from the last movie. They're going to take the magic staff and they're going to do something with it. They want the magic staff to defeat the champion, but then they don't really don't want to defeat the champion. They want to plant a magic apple, and to get to the magic apple, they need to they need to get into the lair, but they don't know about the lair. So why were they attacking Shazam again? Oh, that's right. They're upset that he has their power and they want it back because it was their dad's power. That's right. Wait, except near the midpoint of the movie, once they get this magic apple, they really don't care about Shazam and his powers anymore. They just want to take the apple. They were willing to let him go and everything. Yeah, this one kind of falls flat. The only way they end up getting the apple is because Shazam was stupid enough to let them into his lair. Which, understandable, he's a kid, but the main villain, Helen Mirren, acts like that was part of her plan, but she doesn't know that the apple is in the secret lair that only Shazam can access, so she doesn't know that getting kidnapped is really kind of fun. So was she actually kidnapped? Oh my god, this movie makes no sense. That was in my brain the whole time I was watching it. And then there's another character. You've got... Oh my god, they said his name 1,000 times. It's actually a running joke in the movie that the wizard can't remember his name. Something with a J? Jonathan? Freddy! It's Freddy. Ah! Freddy, the kid with the crutch from the last movie. He's... A random girl shows up at his school, and he's like, instantly in love with her, and she's instantly in love with him for no reason. And I immediately said, villain. I did the thing from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was the most obvious thing in the world. Like, she immediately fawns over him for no apparent reason, and I'm like, oh, she's the villain. She's the bad guy. And to the movie's credit, it doesn't waste any time revealing that. It's like 2 scenes later. She instantly falls in love with him, but then I was like, oh, it's a trick though. She was just using the fact that he's a kid, because really she's a 6,000-year-old vampire. I'm not making this up, by the way. This is the actual plot of the movie. But no, she's actually in love with the 17-year-old boy. Yikers. The 6,000-year-old Greek god is dating a 17-year-old boy. They make out in one scene. DC, are you okay, man? Are you doing all right over there? But it's okay, guys. It's okay. The movie acknowledges that it's creepy in one line. Because if the movie acknowledges that there's inappropriate behavior between an adult and a kid, it's okay, guys. No sweat off our back. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Let them mac. Oh, the movie is with them still dating, even after she's been revealed to be. Her motivations make absolutely no sense to me. One sequence, she's totally evil and is willing to kill people, and in the next sequence, she's like, "Hey, we shouldn't hurt these humans anymore. Let's not hurt the humans anymore." Hey, and then Lucy Liu's character bounces from evil, willing to kill people, to wanting to destroy the entire Earth. And Helen Mirren's character is the most inconsistent of all of these. She's like wishy-washy, hates the humans, wants to destroy all of them. I'm seeking revenge on mankind, to, hey, let's not destroy them with the giant tree, the exact thing he wanted. And then the two sisters who have known each other for 6,000 years randomly betray each other. Helen Mirren dies for no reason, but not before helping Shazam out of nowhere. Literally out of nowhere, to defeat her sister and ruin their plans. I guess the one girl, the other demigod, kind of walks up to her and says, "Hey, what we're doing is bad. We're reaching MODOK levels here, guys." It was just not good, and it was a shame, because I thought the stuff with the kids and the adult versions of the kids just hanging out was really entertaining. It was funny. There's a sequence where they rescue people on a bridge. I thought it was fairly funny, although I have a conspiracy theory. We're getting a little conspiratorial. The bridge randomly starts being destroyed for no reason, and they show like a crater mark in the center of the bridge, and the random bolts keep undoing themselves up, and we've seen Helen Mirren's character. She's got magnetic powers like Magneto. I suspect the original edit of this movie that Helen Mirren was there destroying the bridge, and that was how Shazam first encountered her, but they decided to reshoot it or rework it, and they removed her with CGI, because the bridge is randomly falling apart for no reason, and it's weird, and there's literally no explanation for why. And I suspect with my thinking brain that this is an edit job to try to save the movie. I don't know what happened with David F. Sandberg on this one. I actually really like the guy, so I hate to have hated on this movie. I've seen a lot of his previous work, including his YouTube shorts, and I think he's a pretty swell dude. This one just doesn't work for me at all, which is a shame, because I really, really liked the first Shazam. It was really simple, grounded, down to earth. This movie tries to be epic and emotional and sad, but like never even hits an emotional beat even close to the original movie, where Billy Batson finds out that his mother never really loved him and left him on purpose. That's a really gut-wrenching scene. It's a hero-making moment, and it was really well executed in that movie. And this movie has nothing like that, despite its best efforts. It even does my least favorite thing of all time. And I'm going to give a quick major spoiler mark here, like very, very quick. Skip like 30 seconds from now. They killed Billy Batson in this movie. And then you're like, oh, he's dead. They cut to the next scene. Oh, he's dead. He's really dead, guys. He's dead. Oh, Wonder Woman shows up, and she brings him back to life. And they crack a joke. They really did a comic book fake-out death, guys. Alright, spoilers over. That was bad. I didn't like it. Those of you who skipped the spoiler section, you don't even know what I'm complaining about, but it's bad. Oh my god, what else? So yeah, Wonder Woman is in this movie. I'm just moderate spoiler, whatever. The first time we see her, it's just her outfit, and they've like shot her out her head. So I was like, oh, they couldn't get Gal Gadot, but they really, really wanted to superimpose the wizard's head onto Wonder Woman's head and have Shazam date Wonder Woman. It was a dream, though, I think. Unclear. It was a very weird, confusing sequence in the way it was shot and stuff. But then she shows up at the end as Gal Gadot. So I don't know why the previous scene was shot like that. Could they just get her for one day? They couldn't get her for the 5-second scene of her having dinner with Billy in the dream sequence? Why did they just not want to pay her? Why is Gal Gadot in this movie? Why Gal Gadot? They say Gal Gadot is a god. She's not a god. She's a demigod. They say, well, we need a god to restore the powers to the staff. But Wonder Woman's a demigod. She's not a god. Is she even a demigod? She's made from clay. Zeus breathes life into her. Is that a demigod, or is that just like a regular guy? It's like more like an avatar, really. What a mess. But that was like the most Deus Ex Machina shit I have ever seen. More complaints, because I'm going to just keep complaining, because I'm a negative guy, right? I'm a negative Nancy, and I don't like being negative, guys. It sucks when I have to be negative. The action sequences in this movie are bad. Like, just objectively bad. Like, none of them are exciting. They're poorly shot. They're very boring. There's not many of them, like, at all, which normally I'm not a big, like, you don't have to have action scenes in your movie, obviously, but if you're going to do them, at least try it. The one on the bridge early on is fine. It's cute. I like it. After that, it's all bad. They punch one person once, run around, and then they leave the fight. And it sucks. It's so boring. And I just saw John Wick 4, so, I might be a little skewed because that had some of the most incredible fights I've ever seen in my life. But I expect more. You've got, like, a guy who shoots lightning. I think Shazam shoots lightning 3 times in this movie. And then a bunch in the final fight, but not really at anybody. The final fight of this movie ends with Shazam flying into some fire, zapping a stick with some lightning, and then it exploding to blow up the main bad guy. And it's really uninteresting. It was boring. You see how bored I sound? It's because this movie is just boring. There were some genuine groaners in this movie. There's a sequence where the goddess sister and Freddy, who are now immaculately in love with each other for no apparent reason, confess their feelings to one another, and the goddess says, I don't have my powers, what am I without them? And he says, your real superpower, I'm not even making this up, your real superpower wasn't your ability to control magic like Doctor Strange, it was actually yourself the whole time. And why would you write that? Why would you put that in a movie? That line would have been novel in 1942. It was bad, guys. I don't know what DC is doing. I cannot wait for James Gunn to take over. Anyone who still had faith in the previous DC, executives, you're wrong. This had their hands written all over it. It needs to be bigger. It needs to have big explosions. But, well, sir, what people like about the original Shazam is that it's really down to earth and silly, and there's not much craziness in it. It's really about the heart and the fun characters. But no. We need world-ending stakes. I mean, I was rooting for the villains. They wanted to destroy Philadelphia. That's awesome. What? That's an absolute W. There's a bunch of other things I'm not talking about. Oh, there's a scene where Freddy has a shirt, and he's got, like, a Batman that's like a bird and then a little Robin next to it, like Batman and Robin, which is cute until you remember that in the DCEU, Robin is dead. Yeah, Joker beat him to death with a crowbar. Why does he have a Robin costume? Why do people know about Robin? We've never seen any Robins. Did they just still wear Robin merch even though Robin has been dead for at least 5 or 6 years now? I raised so many questions and I was like, you know what? Those DC guys probably didn't even think of that. That probably never even crossed their mind because they don't know their own continuity because they're idiots. I knew your continuity because I'm a loser nerd. Be better. I'm going to give Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods a 5 out of 10. The beginning parts of this movie were kind of funny. The actors were mostly likable. The villains are just bad. Their motivations are all over the place, especially love interest girl. Oh my god, I couldn't stand her in this movie. Some of the jokes were good. A lot of them were bad. Bizarre after credit scene. I don't know what that was about. I wasn't feeling this one, guys. This is worse than Ant-Man. It was probably one of the worst DC movies. It's not as bad as Wonder Woman 84, Batman versus Superman, Suicide Squad, all those are worse, but this is bad. It should have been much better. There is something here that could have been interesting. The emotional arcs in this movie just don't work at all. They ring hollow. I didn't believe for a second they were going to do anything to Shazam, or any of these other kids. Kill people. Please kill some people in these movies. Thank you. Yeah, that's all, guys. If you're new to the channel, hi, welcome. I'm sorry, this was a very depressing video. I didn't care for this movie, and I'm not usually this negative. So like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment. Let me know if you thought I was wrong. Let me know, and I'll reply and explain myself, I guess. If you're looking for something else to watch, John Wick Advanced Screening Adventure. I just went and saw that. I just finished a new episode of Deadlands. If you want to catch up on that series, or if you're finding me for the first time.